Good morning. Good morning on this glorious day. I am delighted to be with you this morning, not just because of how much I enjoy working with Ernst & Young as a client, but also because I personally am really passionate about this subject of building long-term relationships with clients, but also among yourselves. Because the trust and collaboration among all of you ultimately is the bedrock on which you're going to build these long-term relationships with clients that I'm going to spend the next hour talking about. There are a couple of big trends that are impacting your ability to build client relationships. And now there are many trends, but let me just mention two related ones. The first one, which you are all familiar with, is that clients want more value out of their relationships with you. And in discussions with some of you over the last day, I've heard this. Your clients are saying to you, we want more value. We would like more impact. We would like more ideas. They're being pushed to do more for less, and they want you to do more. Now, one thing that many companies are doing to try to get more value is they are consolidating their use of professional advisors. They're consolidating their use of professional advisors. I see this in every market around the world. Goldman Sachs told me that they were using 83 executive search firms around the world. They consolidated to 3 firms. Shell in North America was using 500 law firms. Yes, 500 law firms in North America. They consolidated to 15, and they call them their strategic law firm partners. Dell Computer in Austin, Texas, they went from using 800, that number's real, 800 advertising agencies and marketing services firms around the world to 1. 800 down to 1. Adding more value. I said earlier, clients are demanding more value. Now, value, technically, is benefits minus fees paid. Benefits received and minus fees paid. But it's much more complex than that. I was struck a couple of years ago. I was interviewing the CEO of a company at the behest of one of my clients. This CEO said something very interesting, and I've heard this many times. He said, you know, this firm has had a big impact on us over the last couple of years in terms of the operational improvements they've have helped us make. However, the CEO said to me, what has really been special for me is how they've impacted my top team, how they have improved the leadership capabilities of my top team and their ability to manage in a deregulated environment. This was an incredible value added for this CEO. So you see, value isn't just financial benefits. Value is also intangible. Value is very personal as well. Now, why don't we just go ask our clients? Why don't you just go to all your clients and say, how can we add more value? Yeah, how can we add more value? Just tell us. Have any of you tried that lately? The problem with doing that is most clients can't answer the question. They give you a blank stare. You know, how can we add more value? And they kind of go, well, gee, let me think about that one. Or they say, don't mess it up, okay? Right? That could be one response. You've heard that. Just don't mess it up, all right? Don't let me down on this one. Or they say, just keep up the good work, you know? And the reason they can't make that connection is because they cannot connect their needs and wants and frustrations and vexing issues with your capabilities and what you can do for them. They just don't make it. I want to give you another analogy for this. Any of you had teenagers or have teenagers? Looking out in the, anyone have teenagers, been raising teenagers lately? Can you just go up to teenagers and you say to them, how's it going? Fine. You know, right? How's it going? Fine. Why do you keep asking? Their life could be falling apart. They're miserable. They have no friends. Their grades are failing. You know, what's wrong? Nothing. You know, things are fine, right? How do you get a handle on teenagers' issues? The reason I'm missing a bit of hair is because I and my wife just finished raising 3 teenagers. And actually, I was appalled to read in the New York Times last week that the 20s are the new adolescents. I can't face it twice. You spend time with your teenager. That's how you find out what's going on. You kind of hang out with them with almost no agenda. You take car rides with them, and then they start talking. But when you go, what's wrong with you? You know, what's happening at school? Why are you getting back? Nothing. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. So the answer is very simple, actually. Lower your threshold for a client meeting. We all think we need the PowerPoint, Bill's PowerPoint presentations. We need a brilliant idea. You don't. Lower your threshold for a client meeting. You'll find yourself having more conversations, and you'll start hearing these little wants and desires. Many people ask me, clients of mine come up to me and they say, Andrew, we want more CEO relationships. We want relationships at the top. I'm a little flip sometimes, and I say, well, why would a CEO want a relationship with you? Turn it around. What are you going to offer that is compelling, that is engaging? You have to cut through the clutter to reach C-suite executives. And you do that by having a compelling idea or a compelling recommendation or point of view that aligns with one of their critical priorities. It's a little bit like a newspaper headline that makes them want to read more. Add value for time. These senior executives care more about value for time than they care about value for money. Middle managers care about value for money. Really top executives are time-starved. Everyone wants 5 minutes with them. They could fill their day 3 times over with all the people who want to meet with them. And so if you have 15 minutes with the CFO or half an hour, you have to add great value for time, and you want them coming back for more, saying, gee, I want to meet more with you. So how do you add value for time? A couple of suggestions. Align with their agenda. If what you're talking about doesn't address one of their priorities, you'll be out of there in 5 minutes. Also, have an opening hook, like a great pop song. Think of the Rolling Stones' Satisfaction, Keith Richards' great opening guitar hook, or John Lennon in the Beatles song shouting, "Help!" at the beginning of the song. That kind of gets your attention. In your terms, the hook is, as I said, kind of that headline, which evokes their curiosity. It makes them want to know more. And you've got to do that in the first couple minutes of the meeting.